Well, how would you describe your personality? What makes you tick?
Oh, I don't think we have enough time for all that. I think I'm bubbly, personable. I try to treat everybody like I like to be treated. I could be a little stubborn at times, be a little feisty. Got that red hair. I'll show a little bit down in the competition if I get in there, have to duke it out with somebody. But overall, I think I'm pretty loyal and just pretty hardworking and, friendly.
Well, how would your friends or your toughest critics describe you in one word? And would you agree with them?
I'm going to say stubborn. Because if I love you, I'll love you to the end, and I'm stubborn, I'll stand up for you. I'm not going to say I don't like you, but if someone doesn't particularly care for me or my style, I'm going to be stubborn in that way because I believe in what I do, I believe in myself, and, if someone else doesn't like it, tough stuff sometimes.
What would people not know about you by looking at you? What would you want people to know about you?
Well, I get this, and I just got this yesterday at work, and I think it makes me feel pretty good. If you look back at this picture over here, this little fella sitting in the middle here, the camouflage, is almost 23 years old. So I get that a lot when people say, my gosh, you've got a son in the Marine Corps, you got a son in college. So it's kind of what people don't know is that I have some grown sons. It makes me feel good, makes me feel young.
What is an odd fact about you or talent that you possess?
An odd talent or fact? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Maybe let's come back to that one. Let me think about that one in a minute.
Okay. Has baking ever helped you through a tough time? What does it mean to you?
Oh yeah. A lot of extra money. Like I say, we've always worked hard. We've always had plenty. But cake decorating is a passion, but it's also, it's made me money. It's like, if I didn't have any extra money, I'd get out there and try to say, hey, does anybody need a cake? Or we did a lot of fundraising for my boys when they were in school. I couldn't, not saying that I'm the best public speaker, obviously, or, I think I have a lot of talents, but I do know that I can decorate cakes, and I have made a ton of money for not only myself, but for charities too, showcasing my talents.
Well, what kinds of people or things push your buttons and why?
Things and people that push my buttons. People who are ungenuine and who think they're better than others. I'm from the old school that no one's better than anyone else. It doesn't matter what you have or what you do. God made us all the same, and it really, really chaps me when someone treats me or others or anybody that I love like they're better than anyone else.
Describe your most embarrassing moment.
Well, I've had a few of those, and there's some of them I can't say on the camera, but I just had one recently when my son was home on leave. We decided to do a little double date with his fiancée Kathleen, and so we got to the movies. We decided to go to the movies. So me and Dad got there, we had bought the tickets, go in the movie, and we're sitting there, we're thinking, gosh, the credits, there's no credits, the movie's already rolling. And so a few minutes later, I get this text from my son. He's like, hey, Mom, where you at? And I'm like, I'm in the movies. He's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Well, come to find out, we're sitting in the wrong movie theater. So, of course, the show had already started. So I run to that theater. He's up there waving. He's like, Mom, here I am. So I run back to the other theater, grab my husband, run back to this one. And as we're sitting there, my son's just laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? He's like, Mom, have you ever looked at your ticket? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, there's a little number on there, and next time, if you look at it, they'll tell you what theater you're supposed to be in, so that won't happen again.
If you've watched any episodes of The Next Great Baker, which cast members do you most relate to and why?
First season, I'm going to say Dana. He just seemed so down to earth, compassionate, talented. I think my favorite part and what really won me over is when the team, I'm not sure what challenge it was, but they had won some money, and he really did a lot in that competition, that part of it, and he had a choice whether to keep the money for himself or to share it with his teammates, and he decided to share it with his teammates. And I thought, you know what, he's the guy that's going to win because he's got all the right components. Second season, I liked Heather Grubb because she was just a little Southern girl like me, so of course, Southern ladies have to stick together, and I was hoping she would go farther, but she did a great job.
Well, do you feel like your skills are better than the previous contestants on season 1 and 2?
I'm not going to say better, because that goes back to the part that I don't like about people thinking they're better than everybody else. I think I have some skills, and I think I can show you some of my skills. And I may be stronger in some areas than others, but I believe that it's an ongoing process. You learn every day. The more you do, the more you learn, and the better you get.
Well, how elaborate and creative are your designs? Do you have any special skills like 3D sculpted cakes, pyrotechnics, sugar work, etc.?
I'll be honest, I've never done any pyrotechnics. I've never done any sugar work. I've worked with gum paste, making some flowers, so I'm kind of getting into that. I've done a lot with fondant, so I'm getting better, at sculpting and doing with fondant. With buttercream, there's so much you can do with it. I'm not going to say that I'm any better or any worse. I'm just going to say that I'm just as good as anybody else, and if you'll give me a chance, I'll show you just how good I can be.
Okay, now it's round 2 for our question, and I just decided to come outside, sit outside. Us country people like to sit on this little porch swing. You might hear a few children in the background, a couple of dogs barking, but hey, that's just country living.
All right. What type of kitchen behavior pisses you off when you're baking and trying to get the job done?
Ooh, in my own kitchen would be somebody coming in my kitchen trying to tell me what to do and how to do it, and oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. But like in a professional setting, it's when someone is unprofessional, they don't want to pull their own weight, they're too busy trying to do what they're doing to help somebody else out. And in a baking environment and a bakery environment, it's teamwork. We all got to work together, do what needs to be done. There's no I in team, and I firmly believe that. You just got to get in there, get it done, no complaining, no questions asked.
What do you consider cliche in the baking world?
Ooh, cliche. I'm going to say cupcakes. Cupcakes, everybody's like, oh, cupcakes. It's just a cupcake. I love them, but hey, let's get a big cake. Let's decorate a cake. Cupcakes, they're your bread and butter that makes some money, but, everybody's doing it. Overrated.
How elaborate and creative are your designs when baking? Describe your most elaborate cake.
Probably, I would think, I got a couple, but I'm thinking maybe the shotgun. I showed you a picture of that one. That one was for my nephew. They just told me, hey, we're getting married, hunting thing, do whatever you want to do. So I made an exact replica of one of my husband's shotguns. And what, made it all stand out is when my youngest son came in, he's like, hey Mom, is that a cake? Or is that really a cake? And I'm like, yeah. So for him to think it was a gun and not a cake, I'm thinking that's pretty cool.
What do you think will be your strengths and weaknesses in this competition?
Strengths, I'm hardworking. I'll do anything that it takes to be done. I'm a team player, but I'll go out of my way to do what needs to be done, and I'm not ever going to stop. I'm just going to keep on doing until it's done, and it's got to be done right. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I'm just one that, it's got to be done. If you're going to do it right the first time.